to start recording soon, but
Oh, he's recording now.
you're recording now? Oh fuck. Talking about this. I used to do these like where you just like pretend like you're a different character, you make up this whole other character.
I did that too.
Like you make up whole ass stories, and everyone gets to play as your own little character in this like chat room box. And that's what I would do all day. And I made up this character. His name was Mac McAllister, and it was a world where everyone would have superpowers, but this guy was normal. But his special thing was like he had literally every job you could ever imagine. And he was like 30-something, right? But he got fired from every job you could ever imagine for the stupidest reasons. And he was just this idiot of like a comedic timing character.
That's amazing.
He became my Morty to my Rick, and the Marty McFly to my Dr. Brown and my time travel comic.
That's awesome, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Me, I didn't have necessarily like a chat room that I imagined. Really, for me, it was like, you know how like your car rides home with your parents, wherever you're kids, you just look out the window and you imagine some dude doing fucking gymnastics, going as fast as the car.
Oh, yeah. Just like jumping across like the street over houses. Like
yeah.
I made a whole ass character video game like a list of characters that are like superheroes that have different abilities for whenever they're doing this thing, right? And I imagine like a full ass video game for this kind of shit. I
like a whole ass.
I have like at least like 5 or 6 like superhero characters that are doing that thing every time I'm in the car. Not when I'm driving, but when I'm in like a passenger seat.
Oh yeah.
And like my imagination runs, I'll like think of my favorite character and like doing flips and shit over.
I don't do that as much anymore, but that's kind of where like my character started, Andy Black.
Andy Black.
And so like he started off as a character doing gymnastics. I tried putting him in like a couple of comic books that I made in high school, and like his whole entire spiel really is that he like can't die.
Okay.
Like at least early on was that the idea was that he was immortal. But now in my head I kind of changed it to where he is actually immortal, and he's kind of like a direct copy of me because that's kind of how he has always been. But he's like a strange amalgamation / collage of every person I have been throughout my life, and that's what I like about him so much. And he just somehow makes it. That's his whole entire thing, is no matter fucking what, he survives.
Wow, I was a very unimaginative kid.
Damn.
Damn.
All right. So today, guys.
Welcome to the Heck Shit Podcast.
Welcome to the Heck Shit Podcast. I'm Dexter Howell. That's Ethan Leal. And then we have Elijah Hansen over there, way off in fucking Missouri. Not Missouri. He might as well be in misery, but he's Ohio. No. All right.
No.
Okay.
All right. Today we're talking about this really cool horror movie series that I of course I knew it existed when I was little, but I didn't like discover it until just recently. Like, it's called The Thing, and it came out in 1982. It's probably a fucking really well-made movie, or a really well-known movie, because it was for sure a really well-made movie for sure. But like, oh my god, this movie took control of my mind for a couple days. So I have a lot to talk about for today.
It took over your mind. Now, whenever I watched it, it didn't really take over my mind because it like kind of seemed generic to me, because even though I had never seen The Thing before, it did kind of seem generic horror movie type shit to me, just due to the fact that it was probably a thing that started the whole entire horror thing.
Exactly.
And so that was really interesting, but the 2011 version was not as good as the 1987?
1982, and we'll start with that right there. 2011, they made a sequel to a 1982 film.
Yeah.
The 1982 film was done with all practical effects. They had puppetry. They had no holes given. That like the guy making this movie,
it had real effects.
Yeah, John L. Carpenter was passionate for this project.
Oh yeah, it was really cool watching the original one. But the 2011 one did not have practical effects.
It has
had
CG.
Which was sad to say.
But
you know what? It's a lot cheaper to do it that way nowadays.
The 1982 version of the film bombed at the box office. It came out right after E.T., and
that makes sense. Steven Spielberg did a good job with E.T.
Yeah, I just had the name of this guy in my head. Fucking God. But he blames E.T. for the failure of his movie and why nobody received his movie well. John L. Carpenter? John L. Carpenter.
Yeah, that
John
guy.
Carpenter. There we go. That's his name. Fucking John Carpenter blames E.T. for the failure of his movie because everyone wanted a cute little alien, and he released this alien that is just like anything you want it to be.
It was just a fucking... It was a horror shit show of an alien, which is exactly what the thing is. They have no idea what the hell it is.
They made a point not to explain what the alien does, so that way it's a mystery. So if you do explain it, it bogs down the story, you know? And it makes everything...
They explained it in the 2011 one, or at least...
They also explained it in the 1982 version, but they only talked about how the cells worked and how they would go ahead and attack other cells and mimic them to survive. And the cells were super resilient and would do anything to survive, but even amalgamate its own body to go ahead and do a thing or two.
The thing is going to do a thing.
Yeah,
For the longest time, I was calling it a parasite. But when I thought about it, a parasite goes inside of you, and it feasts off of what you have.
Yes.
It stays there, right? But the thing, it's not a parasite, it becomes you. It attacks your cells, and then becomes your cells.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you'll lose consciousness, and your body will be the aliens. And then you won't even know. Like, you'll just be dead all of a sudden. Like, you won't even know that's your last thought. That's a scary thought. Like, in like one tiny little droplet or cell in your body will slowly configure you into that alien, and just you'll black out eventually, I guess.
Yeah, which is like a really scary thought. And like, if that sort of shit was real, then be like, fuck, like a million times worse than COVID.
Oh yeah. So the 2011 version of the film is a direct copy. It feels like a direct copy of the 1982 film, but just done way worse because they have like the same versions of the scenes and done in like slightly different ways, and everything kind of happens on the same beat. But the only thing that I really did like about the movie is how it leads directly into the 1982 film, and it kind of like gives me some stuff to really appreciate that will like there is the husky at the start of the film that was just like in the cage, you know, and you know like, oh man, that's the husky from the start of the 1982 film. And then the movie, I loved, my favorite scene has to be on the end credits.
Oh yeah,
the very end credits when this guy who just disappeared in the middle of the movie out of nowhere in the 2011 film, Lars, just disappears.
Oh yeah, just fucking.
You don't see him for the rest of the movie, and then all of a sudden he just comes out. He's alive. And he's chasing down a husky in a helicopter with a sniper rifle, missing every single shot. Jesus Christ.
And that's how 1982 starts.
And that's how it starts. I love it.
Like, I love the direct jump, like, how you would be able to go ahead and see that. But if you watched it and then, like, missed the last 5 minutes of the, 2011 version, you wouldn't be able to see the correlation. You would think that the 2011 version is its own fucking film.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
the 2011 film could have been done with practical effects.
It could have,
but they only had 3 months to do this kind of stuff. So they ended up making all of the practical effects, doing some stuff with it. Like, the actors got to play with some of the animatronics, and then all of a sudden they're just like, no, take it out. They did everything in CG. and then like they were just like holding like these green screen puppets all of a sudden, and they used to have like a real animated puppet of the pilot of the ship. That last end scene was supposed to be the parasite, the thing invading the fucking pilot of the ship instead of just the body of the guy who drove away, which I feel like would have been way cooler.
It would have been so much cooler. I'm just saying, I really thought that was very shitty how at the very end of the 2011 version, the two main characters went over to the alien ship, right? And then the main character, the lady, falls down into the ship, gets her ass kicked, and then kind of, sort of gets saved by what's-his-face.
He doesn't do anything.
But he doesn't do anything.
He gets turned into a thing off screen.
Yeah.
So when he comes back, he just stares at the big boss with his flamethrower and just like, eh.
Yeah, like... I thought that was really shitty that they turned him into one of the things at the last second. Because fucking 2 minutes beforehand, they were like, hey, you know how I could tell that you wanted one of those things? Because you had your piercings. And then, like, a couple minutes later, like, the next fucking scene you see with that guy, no piercings. It's like, well, what happened? He's the guy with the guns. He had the flamethrower. What happened?
I think it's dumb how they use the teeth and the piercings as proof that you're a thing. Because if you were an actual thing and you were smart, you would pick up the piercing and put it back in your ear.
Yeah.
Bam.
That, like, if Thing went and invaded one, like another host that already knew about that little trick, that's all it would do.
And if you get infected, that doesn't even matter. Because if you get sick, if you get, like, the blood in your system and you turn into a thing that way, well, then guess what? Your fillings are staying in your fucking mouth. Because nothing's changing.
Yeah, exactly.
Your piercing isn't going to magically pop out of your ear.
It's not a 100% truth way. The fucking blood test that they did in the 1982 version was...
It made more sense, and it advanced the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the 2011 version, it's like, open your mouth, and then the scene ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open your mouth. You're good. Stand over there. Open your mouth. You don't have anything? We don't know. Go over there. It's like... what is this supposed to prove?
Well, we had 4 people, and one of those 4 people did turn out to be the thing. But, like, I don't know. I really don't know. The 2011 version, it made more sense. I mean, the 1982 version made more sense. The 2011 was just, like, your everyday horror movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
When the 1982 version really had character. Let's talk about the 1982 version. Okay. All right. Dude, this film starts off with this guy, just no words spoken, shooting at a husky from a helicopter. What do you have to make out from that when that's the first thing you see? Why are you shooting a dog?
And the husky runs into the camp, and then everyone's just like, why are you doing that? And then the husky runs in, the helicopter lands, dude gets out of the helicopter chasing the husky with the gun, and then the fucking sheriff breaks out the window and shoots the dude chasing the dog in the fucking head.
Yeah, so now the dog is just like a part of their, like they adopt this dog. They take in this dog and put it in the cage with their other dogs. And right there, not even 20 minutes into the film, the fucking thing reveals itself. This husky's face peels off of its bones. The skin peels off of its fucking face. And then tentacles start sprouting from this dog. And it just like, it starts squirting these dogs with like piss or some shit. I don't know. It's just like a terrifying scene. All of a sudden everyone just runs in and just like, what the fuck do we do?
Not to mention like some of those tentacles were just like grabbing onto those dogs and like sucking the life out of them.
And then by the time like you go back and it pans back to the thing, like it's just giant amalgamation of meat of like 4 different dogs combined together in this giant pile. And then there's another newer dog without hair is just emerging from the fucking meat pile.
Oh, yeah. There's that one husky that was trying to be smart and break open the cage, but that was no avail.
Like, that is awesome. That is what I want to see in a horror movie. In the 2011 version, it took like 30 minutes to see the fucking alien.
Yeah, not to mention, like, okay, so in the 1982 version, the aliens were slow. Like, they were slow to go ahead and react to what the humans were doing, and they moved very slow, just in general, like at a walking pace. They weren't very fast aliens by any means, as at least whenever they were in their, like, thing form and not in, like, a human or a dog. But in the 2011 version, they were fucking fast. They would go ahead and fucking, like, dead sprint at, like, our main characters, and then, like, rip off its jaw, and then, like, keep going, and, like, kill, like, 3 others in, like, the same scene. It's like, that's never happened before.
Yeah, like that one scene where the one guy, his arms rip off and he falls into the floor.
Yeah.
Right? And then the tentacle pops out and just instantly wipes out 3 of our people, and we're left with just 2 humans left.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks. That was way too much to look at and way too much to comprehend, and it was just this shitty little tentacle and this guy getting face fucked by someone's elbow.
Yeah, and really fucking.
But that scene was an excuse to recreate the
fucking
Two-Face from the 1982 version. The start of the 1982 version has him going back to the base that takes place in the 2011. They find the Two-Face that was in that movie, and they bring it back to their camp in the 1982 version. Right? It's like this weird time. It's not. It's hard to make sense of.
It is. It's nice that the 2011 version paid a little bit of homage to the 1982 version, in the fact that it left, like, the sarcophagus, the ice thing that the thing broke out of, and that was still there.
Yeah, and that was also in the 1982
and
film.
How they went and, like, burnt down a room, or, like, a bunch of rooms, and then, like, fucking stuck an axe in the wall and then just left it.
Oh yeah, that was in the 1982 version as well.
Yeah.
Where they come back and just see an axe in the wall. Like, what the fuck is that there for?
Yeah.
What were they doing with that?
Like, what happened? Like, what's going on? Like, it looked like a fucking shit show. And to its credit, it was a shit show. Like,
but, like, the 1982 film has this really good scene, the blood test scene. It's just this famous scene where, like, they're like, okay, I bet since one of you guys are a fucking parasite, that you have this shit in your blood, right? And it's its own living organism. So if I attack it, it's gonna try to survive. So they go one at a time, trying to figure out who's this thing by sticking a heated metal rod to their blood sample, right? And at first you're kind of like, this is never gonna work. You know, how are you ever gonna figure this out? If you're just like, the first 3 times nothing happens, and then everyone starts talking shit, and then right when you least expect it, the blood sample explodes and screams at you. and then the guy who was just figured out to be the thing starts shaking, his eyes start bleeding, and he just starts, like, grabbing the guy right next to him, and, like, his face, his mouth forms from the top of his cranium, like his skull opens up. And teeth form from his brain. He doesn't use his actual mouth to eat this guy, and his hands fuse with the other guy's hands like he's trying to merge with him. And then he throws him on the ground, and they burn down this thing, and then they look down at the guy who was just attacked, and he looks almost completely fine. His hands have grown back, his face is almost fine again, and he's not like complaining or anything, and it's like, dude, he's fucking turning into one of those. Burn it. And he's just sitting there, like, his legs start moving as the fire starts. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that scene was extremely crazy. It was really cool to watch. I mean, like, before that, I hadn't seen anything or any scene quite like that in any real film. But it was quite a good scene, if I do say so myself.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then, like, when the scientist finds out what this alien is capable of, that he could infect the entire world and destroy all of the population if he escapes from Antarctica.
In 6 months.
Yeah, he just instantly starts destroying everything. All transportation, all computers. But he's probably sick already, because he's been experimenting on this thing the whole time.
He did turn out to be an alien.
Yeah, and like the cells are always alive in the corpse unless you kill him. So when
before he turned into a thing, he went and destroyed all transportation, all shit, and then turned into the fucking thing.
When they put him into the shed, he was probably human, but infected. So when they left him alone, he did turn into a thing, in which he would burrow down, try to make a UFO, and then escape. But like that was just like that's stressful right there. Where the fuck did he go?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit.
But it was good. Shid EP8 was. I mean, I gotta say, like the ending of the 1982 version.
The climax wasn't too climactic. It was like they're in the basement. They're trying to put dynamite up in the basement, and then like one by one, people like split off and then get picked off by the scientist, and they go underneath the floor, and he's just like, you see this one big amalgamation of meat come through the ground, and it's got like this like jaw and face like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and then our main character, Mr. Macready.
Yeah, something like that.
Mr. Macready. And McGrady was his name. And he just says, yeah, and fuck you too, and throws some dynamite, runs out. Boom, that's the climax. And there's two people left alive, you don't know if they're things or not. End of film.
End of film.
But like, damn. I figured out there were comic books that were sequels to that film.
Oh, were there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The first comic book that comes out, I actually own this comic book somewhere around here. Mr. McGrady, he wakes up and he instantly, he was rescued by a team of people and put on a ship with a whole bunch of people. And then he instantly like did a blood test for himself and escaped to go burn down the rest of the corpses in the base that he was at in the movie. And before we could burn down the last corpse, the fucking guys come back and take him away. And then the thing is just like loose in Antarctica, like all over Antarctica for like the rest of the comic book. And then there was McGrady and the one other guy, he was a human at the end of the film, but it turns out he turns into a thing later, and he's a really smart thing that like builds an army and like can sabotage stuff really well, I guess. And then in like the sequel to that, they do some more cool stuff where like a thing can pass the blood test, where if the blood is connected to the petri dish, like if he's holding the petri dish and it's his blood inside of there and he's bleeding and the blood is connected, it doesn't change into its own organism, they say. So if you burn it, everything's fine. Just a little bit, right? So
it figures out a way to pass it.
And then you have like and there was a prequel that takes place in like Viking times and like Greenland, where the Vikings are fighting the things in Greenland with nothing but like axes and torches.
Yeah, I don't see how that could work, because they tried chopping up the thing and all it did was like the severed limbs turned into other things.
But that is a really cool concept. And I want to see a concept where there's a whole bunch of things and they're like overloading the population and what they would do to fight that.
Yeah, I would love to see like what the world governments would do.
And then there was a really weird comic book, like the last comic book in the whole Thing series is like the Thing escapes to like this island, and then it feels compassion and love, and it doesn't infect people, it just eats to eat. It just kills people to eat. And it like has this like whole character, like this comic book series tries to make you feel for the Thing as a character, which should not happen at all. Like I prefer that the Thing does not talk and it's just there for purely survival, because I like that a lot better.
That's a much better concept. Although, like if you did have like some form of sympathy for the Thing, although it would be very little due to what it would be doing. Technically, it's a cool concept because it's doing its own thing, and like imagine like another world populated with those things, and they're just living in their own like a normal society.
And like in this normal society, whenever you get pissed off, you turn into like this gross monster and grow extra teeth,
and it takes kill people.
And it takes like 30 minutes to go back to normal.
Don't fucking piss off those people. Like you would be able to go ahead and shapeshift into whatever fucking creature you want. Like, that'd be a weird society.
That would be a weird society.
I imagine
you have to eat. You have to eat whatever you see, whatever you become. You like this whole planet that the planet that the thing inhabits would be home to a completely different species, and then the thing would come in, take over the entire planet, and just live in that planet as that species.
Yeah, seems kind of like a parasitic type of alien that feeds off an entire civilization.
I think that's exactly what it was planned to do. That's a really cool concept for an alien in a movie that we just haven't heard of at all. Like there hasn't been a movie like that in forever. There was like Monster Trucks, where there was like this octopus alien that gets inside of a truck, and then it acts like a dog. I don't know. It's a weird fucking movie. Like I don't know. I feel like alien movies have degraded, and like with those practical effects and like the way the head stretched off the body and grew legs and shit.
Yeah, I mean like the original Alien films were really cool too. Like you gotta go ahead and give those credit too.
But you barely see the alien in those alien films. In The Thing,
yeah,
the alien is front and center the whole movie.
Like half the movie.
Like half the movie. The rest of it's just paranoia.
Yeah. Like paranoia and, moving along the plot. But, like, in Alien, like, I think I only saw the second Alien, like, a hell of a long time ago. And then I saw, I want to say, Alien Covenant in theaters. And you don't see the xenomorph very much, which is really sad. I mean, you obviously know what it looks like. The only real scene that I can think of in like Alien Covenant where like you like really see the xenomorph is like whenever it like jumps on the ship as the main characters are trying to escape towards the end. That's all crawling on top of it and tries to like break in. And like, oh, it's really cool because xenomorphs are designed to be like, ultimate killers. Just like, its blood is acid, its tail is razor sharp, it has razor sharp teeth, can grow an extra mouth, and can, fucking kill anything. It's like the ultimate predator.
I like how I watched the original Predator, and I really appreciated that movie. Like, it had like really good atmosphere, and like the alien, like the Predator could do a bunch of really cool things.
I haven't seen the original Predator since I was like 7.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in a really long time either. Yeah. But I really appreciate how they combined the Alien and Predator franchise. And they're like, okay, this is the ultimate killer. And then you have the ultimate predator that wants to hunt the ultimate prey. Right? So they used to say like hunting humans is the ultimate prey because they fight back. And but with an alien, that's the best that the predator can get. And they have to go on a whole planet festering with them and fight thousands of these aliens on this planet in order to feel like they're doing it. And then when they're finally like being encumbered by thousands and thousands of aliens, they just blow everything up.
Which is fucking badass.
That's badass, yeah.
Like, so fucking cool to see.
How do you make a movie of Predator versus The Thing?
Okay, we gotta watch Alien vs. Predator again.
All right, we're gonna make a podcast about that eventually.
Probably.
Okay.
Eli's just like, oh, great.
Eli, you have to watch the whole Alien and whole Predator franchise and the whole Alien versus Predator franchise in order to get this podcast with us, okay?
By next week.
Eli's like, fuck.
If it's on the I'll watch the ones that are on the streaming services I have.
I've been going out of my way to find discs of like the old ass classic movies I've been wanting to watch. I just got Camp Sleepaway that I'm definitely going to talk about next week.
I've not seen it.
I've heard it's a really good slasher film. It also came out in like the 1980s, 1990s.
It's a kind of like a ripoff of Friday the 13th.
You know what? I have high hopes. It's trying to be its own thing, and it's not like Friday the 13th or Halloween. Yeah. I think like it's just like a camper that goes AWOL and terrorizes a camp, which might be a fresh new take because I'm like the last camp, like Friday the 13th was all supernatural, and there was nothing they could do to fight Jason.
No, they fought Jason.
But like they couldn't fight back against him. Every time you hurt him, he would get right back up and then get back to chasing you.
What's his fucking name? Tommy Jarvis. The main character in not in 3. I think he was just a kid in 3, but in like 4 and 5, he's the one who actually goes and kills Jason.
Cool.
You
know what? There was also like Friday the 13th in space.
Yeah, Jason X.
And there was also like Jason versus Freddy.
Yeah,
I haven't watched either of those movies.
I to be fair, I haven't watched. I think I watched Friday the 13th 1, 2, 3. I think I skipped 4 and 5, and then I did 6, and then I didn't see any of the rest.
Like it made a lot of sense to combine Alien and Predator, but it didn't make a lot of sense to combine Freddy and Jason. Like
no, it makes sense because Jason's an ultimate killer and doesn't really have like a mind or motivation. So is fucking what's his face, Freddy. And Freddy can't really fester Jason's mind as well as he would be able to go ahead and do it to a normal person. So they're at kind of like this struggle of who's gonna be able to fucking kill who.
And but that's just the same as Batman versus Superman.
Okay, but Batman wins.
I got kryptonite, bitch. You better get. I got this shit from Amazon.
They're off my ass.
One day delivery and Superman.
Dude, okay, I purchased some pink kryptonite on fucking Amazon. Don't make me get that shit.
Don't make me give you the bath salt, Superman.
Dude, I will turn your ass gay now. Batman.
What would happen if Superman did any type of drug? Just like if you gave Superman just like a whole line of cocaine like a mile long and asked him to fly down that while doing that line, would he become the next supervillain?
Okay, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty sure Superman's metabolism is like so fast that he doesn't get affected by like drugs or alcohol very much.
But like at the same time,
it would be really cool to go ahead and see Superman on crack. That's what
I mean, they made a special type of alcohol for the Flash in the show, right? So you can make a special type of literally anything snortable for Superman.
They gotta go ahead and give him they gotta go ahead and give him lines of powdered heroin.
Like powdered super heroin that would kill any normal man.
To kill 50 fucking elephants.
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
Here's some elephant tranquilizer. Do a mile long of that.
Oh man, Superman's got
riddle me this, Superman. I know your weakness now.
Superman's gonna be like, I know, Riddler. That fucking edible wasn't shit.
Superman addicted to elephant tranquilizer. The comic book. He's looking for his next high. Mr. Police, give me that fucking elephant tranquilizer. I know you fucking have it. I will laser your eyes if you do not. How did you get here?
Oh no, man. Yeah, but step back.
Okay. I think I'm done talking about the movies.
Okay.
Eli's not entertained.
I'm not a horror guy, man. I don't know.
You're just like, man, I'm just sitting here recording and shit, like I'm over here.
This is good shit. Good shit. Good shit, Mr. Freeze. Thank you.
Die. Best elephant tranquilizer south of the border.
This just in, Superman has, actually, we ran out of all of the ingredients. We ran out of the plant to make elephant tranquilizer. It's got extinct because of Superman. So, we can't put elephants in the zoo anymore.
Yeah, till I'm wrong, please.
Sorry, kids.
You could probably domesticate an elephant if you really tried.
Oh my god.
That'd be cool to domesticate an elephant, because like if you could use them as like water elephants, there's no way. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to go ahead and like just domesticate them, because people ride them like they're horses.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't know. People should be allowed to own elephants. But yeah, no. I feel like if Superman ran out of that elephant tranquilizer in that state, and in that state of desperation, he would probably turn into like a Homelander type of person and
Dude,
start going nuts.
Imagine a world where everybody's normal, like there's just this world, and there's just one person who's Superman. That's it.
So the original Superman comics.
That's actually terrifying.
Like,
that is like the worst possibility ever.
if one dude could just be God.
One dude, and like imagine just like robbing a bank, and then like this guy breaks in through the wall and throws you into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You don't get to go to jail. You don't get to like reprimand for your actions. That's it.
Like, you fucking break into a bank, or like you're breaking into a fucking car, doing some Grand Theft Auto, and all of a sudden you turn around, you see Omni-Man just there, and then he picks you up by the fucking throat and rips your spine out.
You're in a high-speed car chase, being chased by like helicopters and shit, and Superman has nothing better to do but then to go pick up your car and then like shake you out of it like a salt shaker. Here you go, police.
Hey, you know what? Isn't that the plot of Hancock?
Yeah, it is. Now that I think about it,
That's the plot of Hancock.
But like that version of Superman is an alcoholic.
Yeah, he's an alcoholic drunk that turns water into wine for fun. Actually, no, he turns water into Jack Daniels.
What the fuck?
I mean, it's just like, I gotta get drunk.
Just like, no matter what, every water you touch turns into Jack Daniels. The moment it touches your lips, it's fucking liquor.
Bro, imagine that though.
Dehydrated.
Just thinking like alcoholic and drinking copious amounts of Jack.
I can't stop.
I'm gonna die. Glug, glug, glug.
Oh my god. Alright. I think we've gotten pretty far off topic.
Hot take, the Thing is Among Us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the joke we were making the entire time watching the movie. It was just Among Us, and
The Thing is the hit game.
It is literally the Among Us movie is what it is.
like Among Us like copied the exact plot of The Thing and just took out the plot,
Imagine that's where they got the inspiration from.
which is really cool. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, if that was where they got the inspiration.
And there was
from.
that one map where they're in the snow place.
Yeah, that is true.
That's really cool.
It was in Antarctica on that one map, but the main map is just the ship.
Yeah, but I guess that's just to help differentiate itself.
Yeah.
If it was like the little tiny Among Us people, the Thing that acted like the Thing, and then they're like, and then like if that was, I don't know. I guess
Yeah, they also have like a couple.
Like the film came out in 1982. I guess people still wouldn't care, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but
Yeah.
like if they went and did that and put the snow map in because the Thing took place in Antarctica, that's cool.
That is really cool.
Eli, you had something to say?
No, I was just literally saying that the Thing is Among Us.
I think since Eli has nothing to say, that'll be the end of the podcast, guys.
Damn, what is this, like a 20-minute podcast?
How long was this podcast?
38 minutes.